Good morning, everyone. My name is Michael. I'm the founder of gasandgavel.com. Welcome to the Gas and Gavel YouTube channel. Today we are taking a look at this 2015 Fiat 500 Abarth edition in a stunning Rosso red with a Nero interior and a special bonus with a Rosso painted dash. So those are unsure about what Abarth is, essentially Abarth is equivalent to, say, AMG and Mercedes. It's basically Fiat's tuning house, similar to how AMG used to take Mercedes models and tune them up. A company named Abarth that also manufactured race cars basically took Fiat and turned them into hot hatches. For those unfamiliar with the Abarth name, let's start off with what the Abarth car emblem is. Can anyone take a guess? All right, here we go. So Abarth's logo looks exactly like this, and apparently their mascot, similar to how Lamborghini has their bull, Abarth has their scorpion. And the quick and dirty of why it's a scorpion is because the founder of Abarth, I guess his astrological sign was a Scorpio. And there you have it. So Abarth is essentially a tuning house for Fiat. They're basically equivalent to, say, AMG tuning Mercedes, or BMW M-Power tuning BMWs. Abarth is basically the tuning house of Fiat. And everyone can view this Fiat 500 Abarth, and you guys could essentially view it as essentially a ultimate version of the Fiat 500. So just like how the Ferrari F360 has the ultimate version in the Ferrari F360 Challenge Stradale, this is the Fiat 500's version of the Challenge Stradale, but it is named the Fiat 500 Abarth edition. And they definitely want you to know that this is no mere normal Fiat, because there are Abarth badges everywhere. There's one in the trunk, there is another one on the fender here, and this one's very cool. It has a little lightning bolt in the again, the Italian flag colors of green, white, and red. Very nice. And apparently yeah, this big one in front too. And then again on the side of the driver's side, another one. And then the owner wanted more, so he turned his front license plate into the Abarth logo. Very cool, very clean. I like the combination. So again, Fiat 500 Abarth edition. So the Fiat 500 Abarth edition comes in two different forms. The one that you see here is a two-door hatchback with a hard top, but it also comes in a three-door cabriolet. The engine is in the front and it powers the front wheels. Underneath the hood is a 1.4 liter inline four with a big turbo attached to it, and there is an optional 5-speed manual or a 6-speed automatic or auto manual transmission. And the motor, the 1.4 liter turbocharged motor, puts out 160 horsepower. And I can tell you right now that this car has one of the best sounding exhaust in any inline four, and one of the main reasons is because straight from the factory, this car actually from Fiat does not have a OEM muffler. That's right, you get a straight pipe straight from the factory. And on a test drive, you'll see exactly what I mean. So again, This Fiat Abarth is powered by a 1.4 liter 4-cylinder turbocharged motor. So the Fiat 500 Abarth edition is built and based upon the Fiat 500 series compact car. Now let's dive into a little bit of history regarding the Abarth name. So essentially Abarth was founded by, again, probably his name was Carlo Abarth. And he came from a Jewish family in Austria, and he made a name for himself basically tuning and racing motorcycles. But eventually he got into his motorcycle and decided that maybe it was a little safer tuning cars. And that's when in the 1930s he started jumping in and tuning different Porsches. What's interesting is that Carlos Abarth, one of his best friends, was basically the son of Ferdinand Porsche. So he was definitely in good company, and he definitely probably got a lot of inspiration from the Porsche design house. As a matter of fact, Carlos Abarth actually married the secretary of Ferdinand Porsche's son. Very, very interesting. Kept it all in the family, I suppose. So in 1952, the Abarth company started a relationship with Fiat, basically taking base Fiat models and basically tuning it for the racetrack. And eventually, again, just like how AMG was an independent design house, but later on was purchased by Mercedes-Benz themselves, that's the same thing that happened to Abarth's company. Basically, Fiat really loved the tuning of it, and they decided to buy the entire Abarth company. So eventually, Carlos Abarth did sell Abarth to Fiat, and hence why Fiat owns the Abarth name right now. Or actually, Stellantis actually owns Fiat, and there in turn owns Abarth. So that's a little history regarding the Abarth name. Now, before I show you the interior tour of the Fiat 500 Abarth edition, let's take a look at the key of the Abarth. And again, definitely Abarth branding, right front and center of on the again color matched remote. Very, very cool. Is the Abarth logo, and when you click on the Abarth logo, the key pops out. Underneath the I guess the key release emblem, you do have lock, unlock, and also a power trunk. But I really love the color integrated key that it matches your Abarth. Very, very cool. Now let's take a look at the interior of the 2015 Fiat 500 Abarth edition. Alright, let me take you on the exterior tour of the Abarth edition of the 500C. So before we start, I wanted to show you the actual original 500C that the Abarth was based on. And so you guys can kind of follow along and see the subtle different design details. Again, this is the hardcore race version of the 500C. So here's an image of the normal 500C. As you can see, it's a little more subtle, but we'll take a look at the Abarth version. And again, it gets a new aggressive front racing bumper. And what's special is that the race bumper actually has integrated fog lights built right in. Very, very cool. So that is the driver side fog light, and that's a passenger side fog light. But essentially this circle type of designs in the headlights is very Fiat design language. And again, the 500C has two headlights, whereas the Abarth version gets a bonus in the bumper of a fog light. Very, very cool. And the bumper is very, very aggressive. I really love the two-tone finish with the honeycomb grille on the inside. Let me take a look at that. Very, very nice. Definitely much more aggressive than the base 500C. So again, Abarth is the race version, and it does get its own custom front race bumper. Very aggressive. I really do like the design of it. It also gets let's take a look at the headlights of the Fiat 500 Abarth edition. The headlights are designated as bifunction halogen projector headlamps. Continuing along the side of the car, the Abarth also gets custom side skirts that are much more aggressive and definitely lower hanging than the 500C. So again, this is Abarth specific side skirts. That is the passenger side. And now we're going to go to the back and take a look at the Abarth edition of the 500C. So again, this is the Abarth side skirt, and if you take a look at the base 500C, you can tell that the base 500C's side skirt is actually very subtle, whereas the Abarth's side skirt is actually a little more aggressive and definitely lower hanging. Definitely gives it a really aggressive look from the side profile. All right, let's circle back to the rear of the Abarth edition. And before I show you the rear, let me go ahead and show you the original 500C bumper. So as you can see, the original 500C rear bumper is actually very just really simple, it's very clean. And just please note the single exhaust tip on the base 500C. Now let's take a look at the Abarth edition's rear bumper. And here we go. So one of the biggest differences is definitely this rear racing diffuser that's integrated into the bumper, and again dual oval exhaust tips, and they are very aggressive. And when we go on a test drive later, you'll understand this car has one of the best sounding 4-cylinder motors of just any car in 2025. So again, dual exhaust tips for the Abarth edition, and integrated rear race diffuser in it looks like a unpainted black plastic finish. And another addition to the rear bumper of the Abarth that is not found in the 500C is these cutouts. And a lot of times manufacturers put these cutouts in just for like style or whatnot, but if you put your finger in there, actually it's a pretty big hole, and it's actually a functional it's definitely a functional outlet, I assume, to allow heat to escape from the rear brakes or the rear wheels or whatnot. But definitely very cool. Definitely gives a very aggressive race look from the rear. I love it, and it sounds great. Now we're going to circle up to the top. You also get this integrated, I call this like a duckbill spoiler that's integrated into the rear hatch. I think it's just very clean, very subtle, and definitely again gives it that very just race car look. And it is color matched to the Rosso body. Very cool. Circling back, the rear, you have your LED brake lights and your reverse lights. And let's not forget the Abarth emblem, and right underneath the Abarth emblem is the handle to open the trunk lid. And again, it etched with 500, the only indication that this is based upon the Fiat 500. So again, this is the rear. The rear windshield also has an integrated, essentially a windshield wiper. Very cute. Now continuing the exterior tour. Again, on the front fenders, you do have a little side marker on each side. Very cute. And this is the passenger side. I really love the color contrasting chrome door handle of the Abarth. Very cool. I think it adds just a little class to the, and breaks up all that red or whatnot. But this is a great spec, great color. So the Abarth actually comes with its own Abarth specific wheels, and they do come with these 17-inch forged alloy wheels with their Scorpion logo in the center. And this is finished in a what they call a gray finish forged. So again, gray finish, but you can option this wheel in many different colors. I've seen it in white. Definitely looks good too. So again, I think it's just a really classy race spoke wheels. Definitely reminds me of the World Rally Championship STIs and so forth. Definitely a great wheel. Again, 17-inch forged wheels do come on the Abarth. And this is the rear. And since we're back in the wheel area, you can't see the suspension, but since we're here, well, let's talk suspension. Another thing that sets apart the Abarth Edition Fire and Sea from the normal Fire and Seas is a race-tuned suspension. And that race-tuned suspension is actually provided by Coney shocks. So again, one of the major differences, again, it definitely has a aggressive race suspension. Again, provided by Coney shocks. All right, let's take a look at the engine of the Abarth. In order to access the engine bay, you want to go down to where the pedals are, and to the left of it, there's a red tab. What you want to do is you want to get a nice pull. You'll hear a latch pop open, and you want to swing around to the front. And let's take a look at that 1.4 liter, 4-cylinder turbocharged motor found in the Abarth. All right, folks, here is the engine bay of the Abarth. And again, back to brand, I guess, brand design or whatnot, right on the valve cover of the 4-cylinder motor, you have again, the mascot of the Abarth, the Scorpion. Very, very cool. I really love the race red valve cover, and everything is small and compact. Again, 4-cylinder turbocharged motor. And again, I would probably say that this is the best sounding and the best performing 4-cylinder motor out of any car in this day and age in the year 2025. And again, another interesting tidbit about the Abarth motor is that from the factory, the exhaust is actually a straight pipe. The exhaust of the factory OEM Abarth does not, I repeat, does not have any mufflers. It's essentially a straight pipe. And later when I take you on a test drive, you're going to definitely hear lots of pops, lots of gurgles. Again, this sounds more of a Ferrari than a Fiat, definitely. Again, this is your Fiat Abarth motor. Okay, let's jump into the interior tour of the Abarth. Let's open this up. So again, this car is spec'd with Rosso exterior, and the interior is a Nero with a contrasting Rosso highlights. One of my favorite parts about the Abarth is when you sit down, the center dash area is actually painted body color Rosso. Definitely very, very cool, definitely very shiny. It's as clean and sleek and shiny as the exterior paint. I think that it just adds just this burst of color, contrasting well with the Nero interior. Again, black and red, very, very, very race spec. That's probably one of my favorite features of the interior, is that painted dash panel. Very, very cool. This is the door panel of the driver's side. Again, you have the window switch. This operates the adjustment of the side mirrors, and that's pretty much it. And you're probably wondering, like, hey, wait a minute, how do you roll the window down? Because up here, this is actually the door handle, the door lock. So the Abarth is actually pretty interesting because in order to most of the time when you lock and unlock, it's usually a little tab that goes up and down, whereas this one, to unlock the door of the Abarth, you want to pull this forward. But if you want to lock the car, you actually just push a handle in, and the door will lock. So again, very interesting design feature of the Abarth. The other odd design feature, and some people may like it, some people may not, is the fact that usually the window controls is usually in the door panels, but in this car it is not. In order to roll down the window of the Abarth, the window switch is actually integrated right next to the shift knob for both the passenger and the driver. So if you want to roll the window down, you don't really reach like over to the door panel like most cars. You're gonna have to go over here and actually press the button. That's a really odd design feature. It definitely confuses a lot of people. But again, passenger and driver window switches are actually not on the door panel, but in the center dash area right next to the shift knob. Very, very interesting. Now let's circle back to the steering wheel of the Abarth. So again, one of the most impressive things about this car is that, again, it's cute and it's small and it's compact, but it definitely has a lot of exotic car, especially Italian exotic car DNA in its build. And this steering wheel is a prime example of this. Again, this is the Abarth steering wheel. You will not see any sort of Fiat emblems on here. Again, you get the Abarth Scorpion right in the center of the steering wheel. And one of the most impressive features when I jumped in was the fact that this steering wheel has a flat bottom, just like you see in most exotic cars. Again, very, very cool. Flat bottom allows people to get in and out very easily. But that is definitely kind of a Ferrari-esque type of steering wheel. So again, very, very cool. Again, this is wrapped in Nero leather with red contrasting stitching. I think that's a really solid design detail. Very, very cool. And on the steering wheel, to the left of it, you have your controls for your telephone, either Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. And on the right side, these are the controls to actually control the center dash area screen. Now let's go over the center dash area. So right up top, you have your audio control system. This was spec'd with like a base stereo system, but I do know that there is an option for like a navigation screen or whatnot. But again, this is very simple. Again, this is a very simple radio. You have a power button here. You have a CD player here. You have a very simple analog reading. And again, just a very simple radio, very, very clean. Right underneath the radio controls is right here, you have your emergency lights in case you ever need to pull over, you get into an accident or whatnot. Right next to the emergency light is actually one of my favorite buttons. And again, of all the car reviews I ever do, the first thing I always do when I jump in the car is there a race mode? Is there a sport mode? Where's the button? I need to press it. And in this Abarth, it is located to the left of the emergency lights, and it is called the sport button. And when you click that, yeah, this thing becomes a beast. Again, 160 horsepower may not seem like a lot, but in a 2,500 pound car with, like, again, a race tuned suspension, it is go-kart on wheels. It's very, very fun. One odd thing I did find about design-wise about the Abarth is it has a very odd, I guess, like speedometer tachometer area. Essentially, it's one big circle, and essentially your speedometer is in the center, and then to the left you have your RPM meter, and on the right you have your gas meter, and then you have your informatics underneath it. But I just definitely find it kind of odd that essentially it's a circle within a circle. So again, and then encasing an even bigger circle or whatnot. So I found that a little odd, and I mean, they made up for it by including a factory boost gauge. So again, back in the days, you know, I used to be really into Hondas or whatnot, and back in the days, to make your Honda a little faster, you throw a turbo on there or whatnot, and sometimes you have to install an aftermarket boost gauge to kind of gauge how much boost your turbo was pushing. But in the Abarth, the turbocharged 4-cylinder actually comes with a OEM boost gauge. So definitely a very cool, feature. And again, when you turn on the sport mode of the Abarth, it will pop up in the middle of that boost gauge. So again, I'm turning off sport mode, and I'm gonna turn it back on. So you definitely know when your sport mode is on when you take a look at the boost gauge and it says sport. So again, very interesting design feature. May not be for everybody, but again, it's very unique. All right, and right underneath the transmission knob is two integrated cup holders. There's one and there's two. So again, even though the interior is small, you do have enough room for you know, passenger and driver drink. And to the right on top of the drink cup holders, you have all your you know, power outlets. So on the right you have an auxiliary hookup, and underneath it you have a USB outlet to plug in any sort of USB charging cables. Again, very, very cool. And to the left of it, you do have a again a 12-volt option in case you want to charge your other stuff. But again, a lot of options to charge your equipment. Continuing on, as far as storage in the interior goes, you do have a glove compartment inside. It's actually pretty deep, pretty spacious. You can keep a lot of your paperwork. And another interesting tidbit of the glove compartment is that right inside of there, there's actually a, I don't know if you see it, but there's actually a charging port inside there that, again, is an extra USB charging port for whatever reason. So you're gonna plug your phone in there and just close up the glove box and have your phone charged. So very, very cool. Again, small car, but definitely the Fiat Abarth definitely thought about storage for owners of the Abarth. And on top of the I suppose the headliner of the Abarth, you have your rear view mirror, very simple, very clean. You have your dome lights inside. You have 2 visors with a mirror option for the driver, and also a mirror for the passenger. So very cool, very cool. Now let's check out another difference between the base Fiat 500 and the Abarth are these race bucket seats. Again, this is finished in Nero with a Rosso pinstripe, but you can definitely tell that this is no ordinary seat. As you can see, definitely race inspired. Heavy side bolsters, very, very comfortable. Heavy side bolsters on the side to hold you in, so that, again, driving this car is essentially like driving a go-kart on the street, and you definitely need these seats to keep you from sliding all over the place. So again, this is another design difference between the base 500 and the Abarth edition. Again, very, very cool, and very, very comfortable. Scrolling on down, you do have controls for the seats, but again, it's all analog. There's a little switch down there to move this forward and backwards, and you can also adjust the height of the seat itself. So again, very cool. Safety features is you do have side integrated airbags in these seats. And also the driver also gets like some sort of knee airbag somewhere underneath the steering wheel. But again, the car may be small, but is also safe. Many, many airbags. An interesting feature about these race seats is that there is a integrated armrest. You usually don't see it in race seats, but essentially you can lower them down, and driver and passenger both have like an armrest to go ahead and rest their arms or whatnot. So very cool. Let's go over to the other side and check out the passenger side of the Abarth. This is the passenger side door panel. Again, very, very simple, very, very clean. Finished in Nero. Again, you have your basically lock and unlock is essentially that handle right there. And if you want to lock the car up, again, you just push it in and the whole car will lock. So very nice. Here is the passenger side race seat in the Abarth. Let's go around to the driver's side and take a look at the rear seats. Yes, that's right, folks. This Abarth has room for supposedly 2 adults in the back. Again, this is a 2+2. So in order to get access to the back seat on the Abarth race seats, there is this little red tag, and you just give it a pull, and there you go. And then you should be able to jump back here. Again, it's a little dark back here. Let me see if I can put on a light. Sorry about that, folks. There you go. I have a light here. So again, in order to access the rear seats, you're going to go ahead and pull on this red, very race-like handle, and when you pull it, the front seat will fold forward, and you'll be able to gain access to the, again, the rear passenger seat. Again, 2 seats back there. And again, it is finished in a Nero with, again, that Rosso race stripe. So I'm going to go ahead and jump back there and kind of give you a feel for what it's like. Definitely a tight fit. Here we go. All right, definitely not the most comfortable rear seats. It's manageable if you're in a pinch and you do need to drive somebody, but I can tell you right now that straight off the bat, these back seats are the most uncomfortable seats that I've ever sat in. And if you take a look at the once the driver or passenger puts their seat back, there's actually almost zero room for feet. So again, back here I recommend like either really young children or people you don't really like, you can put them back here. But again, you do have the option, but it's not the best, most comfortable option to transport passengers. The rear passengers also have a little slot here to put wherever they need to put. And again, the speaker. A side note, there is an option to upgrade the speaker system in this car, and the speaker system is actually made by Dr. Dre under his Beats brand. So again, in that one, you get a head unit, and you also get an integrated Beats branded subwoofer integrated into the rear trunk. This car was not spec'd in it, but again, you do have the option, if you do like music, to upgrade the sound system of the Abarth. And this is the what it's like for the rear passengers. Again, zero leg room, absolutely zero leg room. But again, the possibility is to transport people is possible. And again, this is the rear seats of the Fiat 500 Abarth edition. All right, folks, let's take a look at the rear trunk and check out how much storage space you have in this compact Fiat Abarth. So if you want to open the trunk of the car, you have numerous options. The first easiest option is, again, take out your Abarth key, and right underneath the lock and unlock there is a trunk open button. So I'm going to click that there, and the trunk is unlocked. Especially it's not a powered trunk. You do have to reach your hand underneath this handle where the 500 is etched in, and there's a little button there. You click that and the trunk opens right up. Again, this is the trunk of the 3-door Abarth. So from initial impressions, it doesn't look like there's much space back here. It looks like it's pretty small. But the great thing about the Abarth is that the rear seats are actually 50-50 folding rear seats. So in order to fold down the rear seats, I'm going to show you that now. So you're going to remove this rear trunk privacy protector, very light, and you put that to the side. And if you want to fold down the rear seats for extra storage or more storage, there are little buttons at the top, and you just click that button there, and you click that button there, and the seats just fly forward and fold flat. Oh, you guys get it. It should fold flat. It's just that the passenger seat is pushed forward right now. But again, these should all fold flat, giving you a huge trunk space, enough for 1, 2, maybe even 3 luggages. Again, this may be a compact car, but it definitely offers a lot of rear space in the trunk for whatever your travel needs or your transportation needs may be. So again, this is the trunk of the Fiat 500 Abarth edition. Definitely very big. All right, folks, let's go on the test drive of this 2015 Fiat Abarth Coupe. So let's start off. We'll grab the key here. So again, this is an analog key. There's no push to start button. Again, you flip it open and you stick it into ignition and you turn. So the reason why I'm choosing to start this test drive inside this underground parking garage is primarily, again, to show you one of my favorite features of the Fiat 500 Coupe Abarth, which is the exhaust. So check this out. So again, I'm gonna start the car up right now. I'm gonna open the door right now. You can kind of hear the exhaust. So again, very aggressive, but I have not even turned on the sport mode. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that now, and you can kind of hear the difference. So here we go, sport mode turns on, and when you turn sport mode on, the sport button shows up right here, and the exhaust opens up. So again, I'm gonna roll the windows down here. so that you can get the full experience of the pops and gurgles of the Abarth coupe. And here we go. So again, lots of pops, lots of gurgles, and lots of whistles from the turbo. Very, very aggressive. Yeah, definitely very, very Ferrari-like. These type of sounds usually don't come from a 4-cylinder turbocharged motor. Usually you'll find these sounds in a V12, twin turbo V8, V10, so on and so forth. But again, the Abarth makes just really, really amazing sounds from its smaller motor. So again, we're gonna go ahead and turn around. Again, another thing I love about the Fiat Abarth coupe is that how maneuverable it is. Again, easy to get into any space. Very, very easy to park in tight and closed spaces like here in Los Angeles. So again, I made that U-turn very, very simple. And this car can definitely fit in places that 99% of other cars in this day and age will not be able to fit in. So again, more of that exhaust. So even though the car is small, it definitely feels like it handles very, very well. Again, driving this car is essentially, to me, is like driving a go-kart. The suspension is stiff, but not too stiff. There is a little bit of body roll, but again, very, very fun to drive. All right, let's take care of this bill first. There we go, and that's the streets in the Abarth. So again, let's hear that straight pipe exhaust straight from the factory. Very, very aggressive, very, very loud, lots of pops and gurgles. And some people may not enjoy the front-wheel drive cars or vehicles or whatnot, but I happen to love the front-wheel drive cars. There's a certain just like ease of handling when it comes to front-wheel drive. There's a little bit of torque steer when you hit the gas, and that's pretty common in front-wheel drive cars, especially front-wheel drive cars with lots of power. But again, nothing too uncontrollable. While we're waiting for traffic right now to clear up, one little frustrating thing I found about the Abarth when driving around in it is essentially when you remove the seatbelt, within a few seconds there's a very loud, very annoying like beep that just doesn't stop beeping until you click that seatbelt in. Again, I understand it's for safety reasons, but the sound is a little annoying for sound sensitive people or whatnot. So again, that was one thing that I did not like about the Abarth. Again, another thing, again, maneuverability. I'm about to use it right now, and it's so easy. I never have to worry about three-point turn. Done, cleared that. And that's the beauty of driving such a small, compact car, is that you can make turns, and just everything is just maneuverability for anything is just so easy. Now you're gonna definitely hear the exhaust when I go underneath this underpass, which is one of my favorite activities with any car with a great exhaust. So here we go. Pops and gurgles. So again, I was so impressed with the sounds that this car makes. Usually those pops and gurgles are reserved for only the upper echelon of Italian exotics. But again, in this Fiat, pulled it off wonderfully, beautifully. So the Abarth, is it the fastest? No. Is it the most powerful? No. Is it the most fun? Most definitely. 4-cylinder turbo plus lightweight, that formula cannot go wrong, and this car proves it. So people, if you're looking for a fun, just a fun car with best bang for your buck, under 20,000, the Abarth definitely should be on the top of your list. Again, very, very hard to find this type of performance exotic at that price point with this much fun. So again, love the Abarth, and the fun factor is through the roof. And well, this is a hardtop, but if this was a cabriolet, then definitely it would be through the roof. But again, I hope you guys enjoyed the test drive of the 2015 Fiat 500 Abarth edition. And welcome back from the test drive. Let's go over some pros and cons of the Fiat 500 Abarth edition. So let's start with the pros. Pros, number one, price and value. So the base MSRP for this car, new back in 2015, hovered about $23,000 with options, and not bad for the performance that you get. Again, right now it's 2025, and you could definitely find great, excellent, well taken care of examples in the $10,000 to $15,000 range. And again, for such a low number, you get so much fun performance for the dollar. Again, this is the only car that I know that is actually, really is, you are buying a go-kart. It handles like a go-kart. It's light, it's small, it's maneuverable. And again, another pro of the vehicle, of the Abarth, is the 4-cylinder turbocharged motor. And that motor pumps its exhaust gas out of a factory straight pipe. So again, straight from the factory, this thing pops and gurgles and performs amazingly. The Koni suspension, like rails, again, when people say toy car, this is definitely a toy car. Again, if you were in the market for, again, a go-kart with 4 seats, this is it right here. So again, another pro of the Fiat Abarth. Another pro of the Fiat Abarth is the design. I mean, it's small, it's compact, but there's a certain aggressive Italian exotic car details that really just takes this car from cuteness to aggressive. And the prime example would be the rear Abarth rear bumper. Again, with the integrated off-color rear diffuser, and of course the rear dual exhaust tips. Definitely, again, one of the highlights is the design of this Fiat Abarth. Again, I view this essentially like a mini Ferrari with 3 doors. So again, design, I love it. Cute and aggressive. So the first con of the Abarth, straight off the bat, is one of the things that bothered me the most about the Abarth, and it was basically the ergonomics of the race seats. Again, the support is great, but there's something just really uncomfortable about the back portion of it. Essentially, there's really zero lumbar support, and again, for some reason, the front seats do not fold like all the way back. So essentially, when you're driving, your back is pretty much like straight the whole time. So again, it's not very comfortable. They look great, but they are definitely not comfortable. So another con of the Abarth is the odd design of the window switches. I mean, for myself, driving around this car the whole time, my hand kept reaching to the left, and for the life of me, the window would not roll down. So again, I found it really odd how they just place things in places that normally people would not want it to be, and it just makes it, the user experience just a little more difficult, a little more confusing for not just the drivers but also for your passengers. So that was kind of like a con. I guess in the design language is a little confusing. And the last con would be, I mean, maybe people don't expect it, but again, this is a performance car, but the gas mileage is not that great. Again, the car only weighs 2,500 pounds. It's powered by a 4-cylinder turbocharged motor. You would think that it would get excellent mileage. In fact, the mileage is okay. It eats a lot of gas. Again, you get about 19 to 20 miles per gallon, which is a lot for a car that only weighs 2,500 pounds. So again, gas mileage is not that great. But overall, if you're looking for a fun, reliable, nice looking, fun looking, enthusiast car, the Fiat Abarth is definitely at the top of the list. Again, go-kart on wheels with Ferrari-esque sounds coming from the exhaust, can't go wrong. So again, love the value, hate the gas mileage. I hope you guys enjoyed the review of the 2015 Fiat Abarth 500. And we will catch you next time on the Gas and Gavel YouTube channel.